Let's see.
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
Give me a second. I'm just getting the thingy on stream. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good, dude. Oh my god, I just opened your stream. That is a pretty big camp that they've got going on.
Yeah. Do you see my dope news ticker at the bottom?
Oh, here we go. Let's read this. I saw it. Didn't actually read it though. Giga expand for real life threat. Yeah. Man, how do you feel about it, dude? Like, how do you feel about this whole CO2 thing?
I don't know. It's I don't. It kind of sucks. Like, it's a really funny meme, but other than that, it kind of sucks because it means that no more dank CO2 like overcommittals.
Yeah, right? It's just sad, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
It's just like rip another like content alliance. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever you say about CO2, like they created content wherever they went. Like, I mean, God, what is that? We've lost Nully, we've lost White Legion, we lost CO2, lost like half the like Kadeshi, all the EMP, like all the old alliances that like used to deploy everywhere. Even Brave's a lot less active now as well. They've kind of just settled down. Man, I don't know. Dwindling number of content-focused alliances at this point, right?
Yeah, there's like, I don't know, and even the ones that are left, like CO2 would always give you some kind of a, like they would very rarely cuck you, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas like Test, it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes if you poke them, they'll like undock some fun stuff and fight you, but sometimes they'll just like drop caps and then spam local.
Yeah, that's like the worst thing, right? Like, that's so annoying. Dude, it's crazy. Like, see when we were rolling with HK right now, like, God, we just ran into like, I mean, I'll tell you right now, like, we've been rolling like all day. Oh my God, hang on a second, I just spilled shit all over my desk. Yeah, there you go, dude. I just spilled a glass over like a half full glass of Coke, just all over my desk.
Nice. Not on your keyboard though, right?
No, on the keyboard. God, my keyboard's enough spilled. It's probably fine. Yeah, dude. Yeah, like I mean, look at today, right? So like HK's roamed out of like.
We have Naglfar just undocked. Oh no.
Oh. FYI, I am a spy. That's great.
Rip Naglfar.
Dude, wait and see if it's fit. But that's like an insurance fraud.
Yeah, probably.
Who's all that? I've heard that. I know who's all that is. I've heard that character before.
But yes, I don't know. It's like, and part of it too is really, it's really, like that, the judge's statement is really, like, I think he posted on that Reddit thread, right? It's like pretty questionable to try to explain it the way that he did.
His post where he like tried to justify it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like, dude, it's like, just say that you took them stuff because you could, right? Like, there's no moral high ground here. Like, if he was just like, yo, I took this because I think the GX is a gun and I could, like, you'd be like, well, fair enough, man, it's Eve. But he's like, I'm doing it for the line members. I'm doing it because GX doesn't deserve this. It's just like, dude, shut up.
Yeah, I don't know. And yeah, to say like, to make the statement that like his aim was not to hurt the line members, like,
my aim isn't to hurt the line members. So
I tell you what, if you're the judge, right,
yeah,
and you don't want to hurt the line members, like you're telling me he couldn't have made whatever deal with goons in such a way that people could get their shit out. Like that would be that they wouldn't have accepted that if that was part of like the terms, you know? Like it's bullshit. Like what's happening right now is exactly what he wanted.
So what is? I mean, he says he doesn't want to hurt the line members. Okay, so what does he do? Like, what do you do if you don't want to hurt the line members? I mean, is his beef? How can you hurt an alliance leader without, especially one like Gigax, who is truly the leader of that alliance, like the life and soul of it, without hurting the alliance? I don't see how that's possible.
That's true. Fourth alliance. That's
I mean, I think if he just took all the money and a bunch of citadels and just, I don't know, he sold the keeps there to the highest bidder, which it sounds like that's what he did anyway, then I could kind of see it, but nah, he just, whatever. It is funny how I don't know why these guys are hell camping them, man. I mean, these people who are smart will just wait, 3 weeks in asset safety or just wait, because they'll get bored of this in a week. Like, do you remember? Were you there for HTech W? Or sorry, was it OTech, HTech W, OTech W? I can't remember which one it was.
Which camp?
You started for 2014, right? This was the Guden Hell camp, the one that they made like a big fuss about.
On test?
No, it was against Pro God. It was against Nully.
Oh, Nully?
And it was
No.
the Halloween War. Okay, so it was, I want to say it was OTAC W. I know it was somewhere in Detorid. It was something TAC W. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. What they did is there's this great alliance meeting where Matani was just like, my people, I request a week of your time, and we'll just end Nully Secunda and make them disband and all this, and they just hell camped the station for a week straight, just like they had exactly like what you see on the stream right now, and they did it to a station where people couldn't get their stuff out, and it had almost no effect on Nully, and that was before asset safety. So I don't know what they're trying to achieve here, man.
Yeah, I think this is mostly like maybe get some free kills and also look, everyone's looking at me kind of situation. I mean,
that's
like,
cool.
what are you going to use a bunch of Macarials to do in Delve right now?
I'd be camping it if I was in Gins too. Yeah, like I'd be camping this if I was in Gins as well. To be fair.
Do you agree with the statement that people who are more interested in PvP tend to be more loyal to their organizations?
Not really.
No,
I'd say people are loyal to people who provide what they're looking for in this game. If you're loyal to people who PvP, like if you're looking for PvP, you'll be loyal to people who get you good PvP. If you're looking to PvE, you'll be loyal to people who give you good opportunities to PvE. I think it's just you stick with whoever gives what give you what you want. You don't see many. I mean, as much as it's a meme, I mean, all these renters in the drone regions that are paying XIX right now, I think you'd find the vast majority of them are very happy and very loyal to XX for what they provide in the drone regions.
But what if like suddenly some block decided to come and like camp that shit? Don't you think they jump ship immediately, like quicker than a PvP player would? I don't know. That's just my feel on
it. Possibly. I think if there was a plan put forward as, hey, we're gonna do here and we're gonna take this and we're gonna get this back, then probably. I mean, I suppose it's.
I'm biased, obviously. I hate everything but PvP, but it's like, I don't know, like just thinking about it, because what I was thinking of is like.
Even PV, right?
Like right now, if your favorite thing in EVE is anything except for PvP, is there competition for goons as the best place to be? Aside from like edge cases, like wormhole stuff and things like that,
you can make more money in case based right now than you can in even C6 wormholes. Like you can, I mean.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like if you're specifically into wormhole PvP or something, but like if you're into, oh, we got a sub to me 16116. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, dude. I
Uh,
mean, like,
yeah.
no, yeah. Like, I think I don't know. Maybe Cobalt Edge in the drone regions. I mean, as much as we pick on them in HK, like that's probably as good. Hey, put it this way. I mean, Cobalt Edge outmined Delve this month while the goons were busy. So I don't know. Well, maybe that's a close contest if you don't want to ever have to deploy. But no, I don't think so, to be honest. Do you know what's ironic about that as well? Have you noticed that we're now in a situation where goons are the most politically independent group in the game?
Mm-hmm.
like, I just love this. Like I'm like, man, the goons are actually. It would not be a hard argument to make. The goons are unironically the good guys now. Like wow.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's like they kind of had after World War B. I mean, like all their kind of like debts owed and stuff were basically like that slate was basically wiped. I mean,
Yeah.
and then I think like the last thing you could say was what was it that like the Stain Russians or whatever they were when they went to this they deployed south for what like 2.5 weeks and then as usual Stain Russians didn't show up and then they went home, so I think that was like maybe the last lingering amount of kind of
Yeah. I mean, I think to be fair, like Steinross has been the paper tiger for quite a long time. It's just that no one had seriously contested them for like 3 years. Because I mean, pretty much, if you remember what happened was the sequence of events is they originally owned the South, and then the Halloween War ended with NC and PL taking it all off of them, even more so than they had before. Um, then Phoebe happens, and they just take it. And it's one of these things, like it's not so much a thing now, but think about the East right now, like the whole Southeast. Until about 6 months ago, well, actually more than 6 months ago now, when Test moved down, all of the people who lived there weren't living there because they were, strong, independent entities who had, a strong military backbone and good political ties. They were just people who had a bunch of sov that no one else wanted.
hmm.
And then FCON moved in and took a bunch of it, and then Test and CO2 moved in and took the rest of it. So I think those people I think the Stainrust have been paper tigers for a long time, and it just took
Hmm.
someone like Test coming in to show that that was true.
I think I don't know. I don't even think it was necessarily that well kept of a secret. I remember when Waffles was fighting with them against who was it? Like Try or somebody? I'm not sure. But I had some friends in Waffles and they said it was like the worst experience of their lives trying to coordinate and work with Stainrust at that time.
I mean, think about that even now. Like, Try have more members than they've had for like years, right? And look how difficult Try is going to have this now. Even with CO2 on their side, how much difficulty they were having fighting all of these people on their own. Whereas like Try were able to fight against all those Steinross on their own with no help, other than like a couple like very small alliances in their coalition.
Yeah, I think what is it? I'm just wondering how close of a second it is. Try being the second most screwed person by this whole situation.
I think everyone's screwed. I think everyone who's looking forward to shooting people in the next 3 months has been
Yeah,
screwed by
that's
this.
true. I think
Yeah.
yeah, you'll start to see some of the high wear off, and people in test will start to realize that they have a week of grinding ahead of them, and then a bunch of nothing.
I mean, even personally, this completely screws up what I personally wanted to do with
Yeah, me too,
PL, like
dude.
shooting fleets.
I'm like, we literally deployed all of Horde today.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, all right
Okay,
then.
let's go grind on contested sub, boys. Let's
Yeah,
go.
let's go shoot. I mean, I'm probably just gonna take fleets to Brave staging 3 times a day. Like, I don't know what else to fucking do.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. That's the one thing I would say. Yeah, even with that, man, it's because it's so blobby and everyone's blue. See, if they even had like a kind of like blue troll kind of deal, catch would be amazing right now. If no
Mm-hmm.
one was blue, like it was just nips, it'd be great because there's so many groups, so densely populated in a very small area that you could just get fights like all day. Except right now, if you turn up and if you're blue, like if you're in the Legacy Coalition, there's no one to fight other than the small roaming gangs that come through. And if you're anyone else and you roam in there, there's like Brave and Phoenix Federation and like, well, not CO2 anymore. But like Test will come up if you try and deploy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa, there's so many people. Yeah, Glenn, like, so if you think about, so I was just saying, you're seeing it in chat, right? So
Mm-hmm.
NIP is like you said, non-invasion pact, right? But like, so if I think about like Test and Goons right now, Test and Goons are currently temporarily blue, but they have a non-invasion pact, so they're not blue, and they can shoot each other. You know, Test can take fleets into Delver period basis, and Goons can take fleets into Esoteria, and they can fight each other and have fun. But they're obviously not going to invade each other. And that's what I'm saying. Even if that was the situation in Catch, it would be amazing, but it's actually not. Yeah, man. Catch is like a few standings changes away from like the ultimate like content fight
Mm-hmm.
club.
This has all happened before, and it will all happen again. Catch becoming the content farm once more.
Yeah.
And then you get like 3 months, and then PL shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have like, what is it, Requiem Eternal? Like, there's a lot of smaller groups that are in and around Catch.
Yeah. I mean, even if what's gonna happen is a lot of them have moved away, and as much as you say about you hating PV, this will probably make you throw up in your mouth a little bit. But pretty much a lot of these groups, like you Drone Walkers, Requiem Eternal, in particular, who basically all moved away further into like the other side of the region, or down towards like Impasse Esoteria period Paragon Soul, because when Test turned up in Curse, because they didn't want to fight,
Mm-hmm.
they just wanted to shoot rocks and red crosses.
I said that the other day on comms. I said shooting red crosses, and a bunch of people were like, "What?" Like, oh, they're not crosses anymore.
They're actually not red crosses, no. Oh, I don't mean I'm not saying Rakin are drone walkers. I'm not even commenting on them as groups. I'm just saying the fact that they moved away. I mean, they moved on because Drone Walkers owns a bit of a Constellation of Paragon Soul now.
They have some stuff in Catch too, right?
Yeah, they still have the Sov, but they're not active there. Believe me, I spent the last 3 days scouting things to shoot to make timers. Like, there's nothing there. They just have the iHubs because no one else could be bothered taking them. There's no one actually there. Locals empty in that entire area.
Yeah, I think
It's kind of like the
Fortizars are the new
demilitarized.
Fortizars are the new Saab in a way.
Yeah, I mean that's because that's a tribute word, right? Like the last tribute war was like it was NC kept dropping forts and like slow pushed in the region. That was cool to see that work. Like that's kind of interesting. You snipe an iHub so that someone can't Sino jam it, and then you drop a fort, and then you move into it, and then you just go for the next constellation one by one.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, if you don't need the iHubs for anything, and you don't have any citadels, like, space isn't really doing anything anyway. Do you think CCP will ever shrink the galaxy? And if so, do you think that's a good plan?
I don't think they'll ever change the map. I just feel like, I mean, yeah, because I mean that's like another thing in of itself, because that's like the corollary to another question, which is there not enough people playing the game for the size of the map? I mean, do you think that the map was designed around a certain kind of player count, or do you think that it was the other way around?
I guess I wouldn't put it so much faith in CCP to say they had a player count in mind. And like, whatever, when you're starting an MMO, you don't. But I think at this point it's hard to argue that there are enough players to satisfy the map, at least I would make the argument that most people's gameplay would be more interesting if there was less space.
It's funny because I keep thinking to myself, like the last few months, like exactly what you're saying, yeah, like the problem is there's no reason to invade. I mean, essentially what you're saying is there's no reason to invade Sol, because you need Sov. You know, like there's
Yeah.
enough Sov that everyone who wants Sov can have it.
I mean,
But
there's more to it than that as well. Like even if you just took every system that was useful in any way right now and just removed every other system, like even if no nothing, like, you know, you removed every system that nobody rats in, nobody lives in, nobody cares about, like that would at least make the galaxy smaller and make it more reasonable for Chimera undocking, but make it more, you know, make everything closer to each other so people, because I mean, I'm not sure how much you've run into it, but like the idea of telling people that we're going 35 jumps and then like half the fleet leaves.
yeah, I mean, do you think that pipes are fun? Do you think that pipes are okay? Because that's a big thing. At least in drone regions, you see a lot. You see like a system and someone, I mean, I can cite you a specific example here I have in mind in OASA. There's a particular couple of pipes in OASA where the system at the end of the pipe is a really, really active ranking system, which is super, super active players. So
Mm-hmm.
then the three systems that you have to go through to get to it are like the buffer. So there's bubbles on every gate, there's scouts and local, and they can use it to see you coming. I mean, do you think so? You would, in what you're describing, would you count those systems as being useless that should be removed? Because it
Uh,
provide even because even by existing, even if no one actually does anything in them, they still provide a gameplay element.
yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I think I will at least agree that I would classify them as different than
By the way,
some
if
of the
I
other
see
systems.
you just opened it up on the
Mm-hmm.
stream, the one I'm thinking in particular of is RTAC, RTAC J, or sorry, RJBC at the very, very bottom, the D85 constellation.
Yeah, I
It's
see.
right, the Barry bomb system in the middle. Like that's the one I'm thinking of. They basically just live
Yeah.
in that system and then the one up from it.
So
But
like
all
T-TAC
yeah, but
H,
so the
LA2, WW-TAC, and S7W.
yeah, so you come in a DS3 and you come in a DS3 at the top of the pipe to the left. They have a scout there, and then T-TAC H they have a scout there. So they see you coming like 3 jumps. It's a gameplay element, even if there's 3 entirely empty systems and no one actually does anything in.
Yeah, I think it's a harder question than it comes off as. Yeah, I agree. You'd have to go through and do it and have like a case by case basis. But I also I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say because it's like there even space, like even like this constellation in the middle is like there's a bunch of, it's like you could just remove one of these systems, right? But I've been in situations in Pureblind where we have a setup kind of like this, where you end up sort of chasing fleets chasing each other around and not being trapped and having options to go different gates to try to get around or get away is an interesting situation sometimes. But you know, 95% of the times that extra system in that little formation is doing absolutely nothing.
Fountain's like the worst region in the game for that because it doesn't look at it when you look at it on the in-game map, but essentially Fountain is just a giant, like it's like Cloud Rain. It's just a 20 jump circle
Yep.
with like constellations jutting off the side of it. And it's if you get caught, and the NPC constellation is at the far side of the region from all the exits. So like if you get caught in any of those pockets, like you're stuck until you safe log for an hour and wait for them to leave.
Yeah, I was in Brave when we lived in Fountain, so I've become quite familiar with that.
Yeah, like it's like God, the one because like in particular Brave used to do this all the time. Like so YZ-TAC right in the middle, top left, yeah, like the NPC system.
Oh yeah.
You can bridge from there into like 7BX, which is a really active riding system even now. And if you blop the bridge or jump there or something, I mean, look at that. That's almost 20 jumps back to YZ-TAC. That's just gross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or if you drop a bunch of dreads on a supercap tower because you're Kelnon, you don't tell anyone you're gonna do it, and you don't have a bridging titan for the main fleet ready.
You know what? Oh, dude, I heard about that from someone who was in what's her face again? The other Hero Alliance. They're in a wormhole now.
Sound.
It's all sound fine.
Yep. I have. I
One
was there that day, and literally, shit was popping off. Caldon's like, I need the subs in this system because I just dropped all these dreads on this tower, and we're like, yo, it's 28 jumps or whatever ungodly amount it was because we were still in YZ Tech, or actually we were, I think even a little bit to the east doing some other shit.
Well, you
And
had it was. Simon had a Titan that was like super secret.
Yeah, it wasn't even. That's the thing is, it wasn't even that secret. I knew about it, but for some, I just assumed that that leadership knew about it, and apparently they didn't. The shit was in. It was like just a couple jumps over in where sound space was.
Takar 14Y. It was one of those two ones on the left, and essentially what happened with it was that like they had the fleet sitting on this Titan. And someone told me that they're sitting on a Titan. I'm like, wait, what? When did they get a Titan? When did that happen? Like, where are they? And I just quickly plugged it in a dot line. I'm like, wait, is that even in range? And it wasn't. And we're just like, okay, sign us up. All the supers jump on the track.
Yeah.
They're sitting on
yeah, we had W Rush. W Rush went to the system with the dreads, lit the Sino, and then it was out of range, and then he died. And he was our only Sino because nobody knew that, like, oh, it was a shit show.
It was funny. I just remember hearing that like a few weeks ago, the full story from the other side on that. That was great. Oh, dude, rip CO2. I'm super sad, man.
Yeah, it feels bad, man. Like, I don't know. It's like cool. It's a cool Eve meme. I like it. It makes you appreciate the game because there's like no other game that this sort of shit is possible in. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But it sucks for all those people.
Jillian, you'd be amazed, dude. Most of the Titans in this game are like logged off, never to be logged in again. Just in places in the low sack. That's what you do. See if you have a Titan and you're going AFK. What you do is you just go, you jump it to somewhere in low sack, and then you just warp to a safe spot when local's empty, and you safe log it. And that's what you do, because then you can just log in again if you come back in a year and just jump it again to somewhere else.
Yeah. Or no, I mean that's not counting all the Titans that are logged off in 93 PI, right?
I remember just thinking that was so stupid at the time because, like, I X'd up. PL had a bunch of POS kits to just hand out to all the alliances involved, and I was like the guy in tissue that just got it. You know, I was like, yeah, just give them to me. I'll get it worried about. And they gave us 5 POS kits with like 30, 40 mods per tower. So I'm just like, wait, I need to anchor like 300 modules that will take about 12 hours, and you want us to do this? Yeah, just get them up. I'm like, okay. So I handed them out, I had 1 carp to each, and then it came about 3 weeks later. I'm like, hey, we're running out of fuel here. Like, do we have fuel here you can give us? He's like, no, just buy some and G to yourself. I'm like, I'm not feeling a fucking POS out of my own wallet for this dumb propaganda thing.
Do you remember that one system in Declan where I think it was FCON kept gating Titans or kept gating supers?
Yeah, it was the regional gate from Branch, wasn't it? WLV or something like that.
I'm looking it up. UJY, YTAC 1 to UJY. Or there's no WLF. Yeah, it was Vino. It was WLF.
Yeah,
there was like
WLF
a permanent like PL super / dread force like watching that system nonstop.
Yeah, they lost supers like 3 separate times there.
I'm wondering if we see anything like that with the CO2 thing. I mean, we'll see, but I don't know. Every time I think that there's a straightforward answer to a situation, you players will surprise you.
Check it here. Where will they get asset safety to? Because they've got a low sec, so I'm guessing it'll be Podium. Looking at the map, it should be obvious.
I mean, what is the nearest low sec is like Iridia or something, isn't it?
It's Derelict.
Is it
what,
Derelict?
To Impasse? To Impasse? Yeah, it's Derelict.
Okay.
It'll be From Impasse, it should be our 60 FT. It'll be Fespera
Zendaya?
or Lil Mad.
Oh. Oh, wait. Neither of those systems is a very good idea to have supers in, is it?
No, hang on, I'll check it because it's purely based on light range. You can just check it, like 60 FT.
Yeah, I imagine that there are tons of people in the game who already know exactly where all that stuff is going to land and is setting up for it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Actually, funnily enough, all the guys that the guys who camp in Fespera, they actually are pretty much inactive now. Most of them got AFK purged from PL. Actually, it wasn't like a kick; they just got AFK purged.
Oh, have you looked at the Dotland 4 impasse recently?
Yeah, it's just all reinforced, isn't it?
Every single
Dude,
system.
I've been watching test pings all fucking day. They're like literally just every single ping. I'm just reading it now. Yeah, like every ping is just like getting fleet and Tosa ships, getting fleet and Tosa ship for like the last 14 hours straight.
I'm afraid to look at timer board.
With,
that actually is
same
going
with
to make it.
AFCON.
It's actually going to make it kind of aids to do that though, because those constellations are just going to be so full of nodes that they're going to fail to spawn and stuff.
I think what you need to do in that scenario is just get like 100 people in a fleet and just tell everyone to get in Tosa ship. Like, don't even worry about defense. Just in Tosa ship so you can grind it out. Someone comes. I mean, if someone comes to shoot, then yeah, reship. But God, that's gonna be awful. Jillian,
Jesus Christ, yeah, there's so
why
many
was it
timers.
boring, dude?
1 day, 16 hours. There's like infinity timers. Hold on, I'll put this on stream.
Yeah, Detron hordes and Tosasing sculling fast, right? I think. I don't know. I'm not reading the channel.
To say. I'm sure you can figure
right
it out
enough
if you
here, not.
But look at all these impasse timers all in a row. I think the last time I've seen timers overlapped like this though in Sim Constellation, there's like it ends up getting all fucked up. Like the nodes don't spawn properly and like the timers don't end properly.
Yeah, that's unironically. Well, they're not even jumping into Fespera, they're jumping out of Fespera. They just undock from the station and jump to a Sino. Well,
yeah, unless they're dumb, in which case they undock from the station before being fully prepared and then try to redock and can't.
Yeah.
But I also imagine that I don't know, experienced super hunters are going to be set up in the places they're likely to go as well, right?
Looks like Fespera is closest. I'm just playing with it on Dotland right now. Oh well.
Well, Jay Amazingness says we refed the entire region.
Oh,
Jay
the
Amazingness
EJ?
joins tests.
I don't know, Jay. I've just been looking at tests.
I assumed it was gonna be goons because they had a shitload of people there and not much to do. So
what are you guys gonna do with it, Jay? Like, surely you're not want to actually keep that region. I mean, I heard word on the street was that you were offering to sell the Keepstar to test once you're done hell camping it. I heard that through a person who knows the guy.
Buys that Keepstar, doesn't that mean that PL kills another Keepstar? I mean,
that would be. I don't think PL is coming down here.
No?
Man.
If Test had a Keepstar, you don't think PL would
Well,
deploy
why?
to kill it at some point?
What's the point,
you don't ask me that question. I don't know the answer to
I don't.
that. But
I mean,
it's just
I don't know any more. I don't know any more than you. I mean, I don't know for sure. I mean, that's way above my pay grade. Believe me, if that was part of my pay grade, I just wouldn't be saying anything.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm not asking you to confirm or deny as a PL representative what's going to happen, but I mean, I don't know. Just looking at in the past, I don't know. If I was Test, I probably wouldn't buy it. You don't really need it, do you? I don't know.
Test don't have a big alliance wall either. They're not very well. I don't know. They're not very good. That's probably an unfair way to say it, but they don't have a very well organized like corp tax collection.
Right. I call it the the upward flowing ISK organization that goons do very, very, very well, where each level extracts a little bit from the level below them. And Horde does very poorly, kind of on purpose. We don't really. That's why we kill shit in high sec. Jay says, yeah, asset safety goes to Masaba.
Oh, yeah, right enough, it does. Oh, yeah, I'm an idiot. Why am I looking at that? Of course it's going to domain, isn't it?
So Test's actual, like, home right now, is that Esoteria still?
Yes, they are based in DTX in Esoteria.
Is DTX in ESO? I know their staging is DTX, but it's not that far from here. I'm just wondering, is Impasse better space for them?
Paying for.
Like if Test wanted to.
Sorry, it's DTech P, I think, is where they have their Keepstar.
Oh, okay.
I know that's where they are, or at least that's where they staged originally when they went to Esoteria. I'm not too sure. I mean, I just follow things that are relevant to me getting frags.
Nice. I'm just wondering, like, is Impasse that much? Is Impasse better space than that? Like, is it worth moving if they wanted to buy this Keepstar and live here instead?
If I was Test, I'd rather stay in Esoteria than Impasse personally. It's much more. It's much further away from everything. It's like, I mean, essentially, the biggest scary thing if you're an alliance right now and you want to get frags, or you're on an NPC, sorry, the opposite, get frags. You basically want to stay away from NPC space, and Esoteria is pretty much the absolute middle of nowhere. I mean, look at like a great point. Do you know what it was? I won't say who because it was someone in PL who was involved with a lot of the Delve super hunting. Made this point a few weeks ago. It was like, if you look at how many supers goons have lost in Delve, and it's just loads. Like not even recently when they were deployed north, just period. You know, with PL hunting and with Horde hunting, and even with other people coming and like even nearly killing them. Whereas you compare that to Test. I mean, Test have lost what? 2 or something, like almost none, and that's ridiculous. I mean, it's not that Test have that much less ranking going on than goons.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just like you said, it's farther away. I mean, there's no NPC SO, right? But there is NPC Delve.
Yeah. NPC Delve, like the NPC area Delve, like really kind of ruins that region for goons.
You think we'll see them move out of Delve at some point in the next year?
I don't know. I mean, I think they probably set up too much. I don't know if they'd want to move. Can you imagine tearing down 11 Keepstars?
Yeah.
Like even just in rigs, like how many billions, like even trillions of rigs would be lost. And I bet you at least one of those Sateos they have there is T2 rigged as well. It's one of the, yeah, like bet you.
That's the discussion we always have in Horde as well. Like Citadels kind of screwed over nomadic alliances. You have to like decide how much is worth essentially losing the next time you move, or how much is worth losing compared to just not moving.
I don't know. I'd say the opposite, at least in my experience. I think Citadels are great. I mean, I hate the vulnerability mechanics. No, I think the reinforcement windows, all that kind of stuff is bollocks. But the actual concept of here's a station that costs, you know, roughly the prices that they do, and it's stationed and you can dock in it and you can repair and all that.
Yeah,
I think
I agree
that's
with
really
that.
nice.
I mean, I don't mean like the smaller nomadic groups. I mean like alliances like Horde, for instance, that have traditionally lived in a place for a while and then just moved somewhere else and lived there for a while and moved somewhere else and lived there for a while. But I guess at that size, it's pretty rare that anyone moves unless they're kicked out.
Yeah, look at this. Someone's linked the August report, the key economic figures. If
Mhm.
you add impasse and esoteric together, it's almost exactly the same as delve. Even branch is high as well.
Mhm.
I wonder what Cobalt Edge is.
Except Jita is still at the top of a lot of this shit.
Yeah, newbie, that's what I mean. Like Test are not very rich on an alliance level. I mean, they've got plenty of members who have plenty of cash, but yeah, they just for the size, they're actually very, very poor for the size that they are compared to other alliances of like similar member counts.
But when they form nightmare fleets, people
That's not
show
a
up. That's the
criticism.
thing.
It's just an
Yeah,
observation.
yeah. But I mean, you can see that like when you get 250 dudes in nightmares. Oh, we got a we got a fleet. Got a cormorant fleet is here. Oh no,
Dude,
these are what, some DRF guys. The blood
how many of those goons do you think are AFK? Like if you just turned out with like
hurricane or tornadoes.
yeah, like if you just turned out with something like tornadoes or whatever, how many of those people do you think you just frag because they're just like AFK?
Mm-hmm. I think you'd probably get quite a few. These cormorants are gonna give it a shot. Hopefully they don't land too close, because PDS will eat them for dinner. Oh, they just killed
What
an
about the
elite
Hictors,
frigate rig.
Jay?
Oh yeah, the old Hictors.
Oh, Gizos, don't get personal, dude. It's not. It's Eve, dude. It's a video game.
Is it though? I heard that it was real and that I was there. Oh my god. I wonder how many people who play Eve never saw any of those cringy ass trailers or commercials and only saw like the good ones they've been making for the past couple years. The hick at the Super Undock went to bed a couple of hours ago. Nice. And it looks like some people got bored and reinforced a Poco. A few of them, actually. Alright, well, my dude, thank you for coming on and chatting with me. Always a pleasure. I'm going
Yeah.
to take a break and get some food and probably just leave this stream up because I think I'm the only one who has the stream with local chat, and I feel like that's pretty important. So,
Yeah.
leave
Local is
that up,
always
let
primary.
people,
Yeah, thanks, dude. It was fun.
and yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, see you in a bit.
Capri Sun KraftFoods.